3.5 years ago, when Sherry first published videos on her YouTube Mystery Decoder channel, she knew she needed a narrator to avoid attacks, even though her English was pretty good. So she hired me, and her channel started to take off. But she wanted more Chinese-speaking viewers. So she started making Chinese videos. But breaking into a market is tough. But the word no is not in her dictionary. And the Chinese version of Tui Bei Tu, narrated by herself, did take off. But she was not sure how to keep happy Chinese viewers, because unlike Nostradamus, who wrote 942 quatrains, Tui Bei Tu has only 60. Even though her original decoding raised many eyebrows. Not having new material will for sure put bored viewers to sleep, especially when she already made 5 videos decoding poems 40 through 46. She's running out of prophecies to decode. So she went backwards and made videos about Tui Bei Tu's poems 1 through 39. Starting from the Tang Dynasty, 1300 years ago, she shared China's history like no others. Because it is about history foretold in prophecy, of course, she made sure her base is covered. So I got to read the English version. Man, what a history lesson. If Western history were this dramatic, I probably would not have picked physical education as my major in school. Reincarnated king revenged on the brother who killed him, and his sons by wiping out his brother's descendants. Princes were all killed, and princesses sent to brothels, while the only one that survived, the prince-turned-king, returned the throne to his 8th generation descendant. All these foretold in China's Book of Prophecy. If I did not read it and did not have my own web search, I would not believe it. The history digging taught our mystery decoder more decoding skills. But she realized that she would need help. Help from someone who can see the future. Is there such a person? Yes. Although the person died 600 years ago, he left a detailed prophecy book, the Biscuit Tale. It is famous because details of major events were found again and again. Like Tui Bei Tu, it was never wrong. But unlike Tui Bei Tu, that claimed to have been decoded by thousands, only a few people attempted to decode Biscuit Tale, and the decodings were not too impressive. No wonder you can find very few followers of Biscuit Tales. But is Biscuit Tale really a second-class prophecy? No. It's us who fail to understand it. What I found in Tui Bei Tu will knock your socks off. I mean, unless you decide to hate me before I even start. But you must pay attention to these prophecies. Not only because they showed their mysterious tunnel vision through time, but also the special knowledge they had about our future. The clues in these 2 prophecies may be hidden, but the books have been in plain sight. And people found names hidden, facts written, and sadly, because no one had decoded the mysteries in advance, the 2 prophecies read like 2 books of tragedies. But now, we not only decoded the hidden clues, we also decoded events unfolding, not in one book, but in both books. And most shockingly, I will show you how these 2 books described 3 current events in chronological order with the same timestamps. Most of us agree that foretelling the future is very hard, if not impossible. But you may not know how difficult it is to foretell the history in ways people can understand. Imagine describing events only you saw. And worst of all, you can't correct people when they misquote you. So the authors found a very effective way to confirm with us what they were talking about, by including important players' names in the poem. As an example, the poem could not have been more clear, as it stated the rebel's name as Peace, and included the first, middle, and last name of the leader. No one can miss that. But the accuracy is so shocking. Non-believers cried out, "Fake!" Actually, what no one had noticed was that it contained not only the leader's name, but his son's name, his last loyal king lord, the one who defeated him, and the general that finished him off. Let me see if I can convince you if you still consider these two prophecies as forgery. How about poem 40? When I found Mao Zedong, Shu, Enlai, Chiang Kai-shek's name. How about poem 41? When I found Deng Xiaoping's last name. If not for Deng's tough stand, Hong Kong may still belong to the UK, as many fail to comprehend that Hong Kong was given away. The 99-year lease is only on some additional land, but Deng's open policy changed China. By opening the Iron Gate, the earth turned. To find his name, you have to solve a word puzzle. The right side of the word yen and yan is a ear. It's said in reverse. So you need to move the ear from left to right. Then the statement in poem 41, must wear hat, blood with no head. If you take the left side of the head and put a hat on, with the moved right ear, you get the word Deng. And the poem asked, when will his reign end? It followed by the 99-year lease, and he died in 1997, the year when the 99-year lease is up. Next Tui Bei Tu poem, number 42, is about the Korean War. People thought a pretty lady would come from the West, but they failed to realize that American is also called pretty lady in Chinese. The bow was about Taiwan, as it showed up 3 times in the modern-day era of Tui Bei Tu. The poem talked about white clothing, shining armor, with the word soldier, with water living in Korean city, and its presence caused quite a stir. This must be about the never-ending Korean War that started in 1951. The Korean War is still ongoing. Number 43 must be about us now. I thought it was about Taiwan and China relationship, as you can't call it king and lord, but the big one does walk side by side with the small one. However, I realize the old man is President Trump, while the young one is Canada's Prime Minister Justin. See, the king is not the Lord's king, and the Lord is not the king's Lord, but they seem to hold secret talks. What led me to feel this way is the word black rabbit. Step to Dragon Hole. Black mean dark, late, and arrested Meng's first name meant late. But the right side is the word rabbit without a dot. Walking to Dragon Hole sounded like her unexpected arrest during the trip. And then I found Huawei, her father Renzing Feng, and her last name in the poem. So this must be about the trade war. China went through another evolution during the 20 years after the Hong Kong unification. It is an economic revolution, when people's income rose tenfold. While Biscuit Tale talked about a war with foreigners, but it is not a traditional war. It is a war about money. Look at the second word. Do you see China's currency symbol? The 2 words meant hand held. So the weapon to kill foreign power is money, or economic power. So are these 2 poems talking about the same thing? Yes, because the rapid growth during the last 20 years made China a power to fear, and it is a power strong enough to beat down foreign competition. After these 2 poems, Tui Bei Tu poem number 42 talked about the Korean War, Americans' involvement after the war, and the stirred-up tension. While Biscuit Tale talked about a war with smoke and fire in the air, are these the same? Well, the word north and south is mentioned in the statement. Move north, move south, 63 years. Did you know the active war paused 63 years? before North Korea started firing missile tests. The two poems are not talking about the past, because we are still under the shadow of war right now, a tension that started since 1951. While number 44 is another ongoing crisis that may affect all of us. I thought Tui Bei Tu number 44 is about China and the Taiwan relationship till I found Huawei, Ren Zhenfei, and Meng Wanzhou's name were all found in the poem. I even predicted how the case will end. But that does not stop people calling us crazy, because no one believed a small matter would be covered in a 1,300-year-old prophecy. What if I can show you that Biscuit Tale also talked about Meng Wanzhou in the next poem? Now look. Poor thing failed to pass through gate of goose. All plum flower picked. Foreigner refused to return gate of goose. Could this be the famous Canadian goose? And now take the bottom of the word all picked with the bottom of plum flower. Do you see the word Meng, which is the CFO's last name? We also found part of the word Huawei and the last name of Ren, and I saw 20 twice in these two words. Please note that Tui Bei Tu talked about 30 years, while 20 showed twice in Biscuit Tale. Will the prosecutors ask for 20 to 30 years? Or will the trade wars start 20 to 30 years of intensive conflict? I don't know how authors of these two books could see the future and write in such detail. I don't know if the future can be changed, or is it set in stone? But I think it is important for us to face the challenges and try to control our future. This is Ken Peters. Thank you for watching.